Hey, this is Frank Yosa, CEO of Hard Ketones, and decided to bring my dog in this video with me. I don't know, I got the idea from, they say on Match.com, if your profile photo has dogs in it, somehow people will believe you more. Anyhow, going through the top questions that people have about hard ketones, and the number one question people ask is, why does it taste so different? And we went over that in a different video. The next question people ask is, why does it cost so damn much? Or at least it seems like it costs a lot, and I'm here to explain, the actual value in it that might not be immediately obvious. First of all, the active ingredient is called R13-butanediol. We renamed it Ketohol to make it easier to remember. That used to be $1 per gram. And we used to put 12 grams per can. We now put 17 grams per can. So this stuff is extreme. Obviously it's come down in price, but still it's not going to be anywhere nearly as inexpensive as sugar mocktails or even alcoholic drinks. Alcohol, ethanol is super cheap. So that part is super expensive. But the problem is that their perception of value is based on one can versus one can pricing. And I'm just trying to explain that that's not the way it should be looked at. You shouldn't look at, you can get some cheap, hard seltzers at the store for $1 or $2 a can, and then this stuff is $4, $5, $6 a can. It seems like it's multiple amounts more, but let me explain. First of all, most people only need 1, if not 2 cans of this stuff. Initially, we had 40% less, so people needed 2 or 3 cans. So we increased the amount by 40% without increasing the price. We could have gone the opposite direction. So people say that, oh, the cost per can is way too high. Well, I could have diluted it in half, make it go from 12 grams to 6 grams, and just say, hey, now instead of drinking 2 or 3, you've got to drink 4 to 6. But we decided not to go in that direction, go in the other direction, because we think it's about value, not that sticker shock on a can per can. So people will drink 1 or 2 and they just feel content. They don't have that luring desire that regular alcohol has when you have one beer, that you just want another and another and another. Ketones suppress hunger, so they make you not hungry even for itself. So right there, if you normally are drinking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drinks, then you would save money in that respect. Secondly, it's an appetite suppressant. So some people will take it after work and skip dinner. They just don't feel hungry and they just skip dinner. Well, what's the value of even the cheapest McDonald's dinner is going to be $5, $10, let alone what you might get at a fancier restaurant or at home. So people save money with that. And then people say, oh, well, it'd be cheaper to take THC. Sure, you can take some THC instead, but what is that going to do for your appetite? It's going to make you ravenous. So you're going to eat that huge 20-inch pizza, or pizza by the slice. The slice is the size of a whole plate, and you're going to have hundreds of calories from that, and the cost of that pizza. And then what's the value of the next day? Drinking those several beers and waking up and just, once you're over the age of 30 or 40, you start bouncing back less and less from alcohol. And the next morning, the work day or whatnot, you're just not recovered. What's that worth? $1 or $2? So in the end, also people have transitioned to the hard ketones temporarily as well. So one lady, a full bottle of wine every night, biohacking nurse. She switched over to 2 cans of our stuff when it was the weaker one. 2 cans of our stuff, and a month or 2 months later, she stopped ordering, and I checked in on her, and she said, no, I'm not ordering anymore. I don't need it. I'm like, well, did you go back to wine? She goes, no, I just switched to water. And I was like, that's great. It's amazing. So again, 1 bottle of wine, what's the cost of that versus 2 cans? It was less expensive, the 2 cans. And then she got off of this 2-3 year addiction in a couple of months. Now, when it came summertime, she did order again because she wanted to bring it to parties, but she just didn't have that desire. So, is it still expensive for you? I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts on that. We try to give value, try not to do these tricks of like diluting it down so you have to have more. And we think that the value's there, and people do see that. So I appreciate you taking your time to listen to this, and we've got other videos on taste, whatnot. So thanks for listening.